Councillor Kuldip Sahota, welcome to Telford Live.
Thank you.
And would you like to just have a couple of minutes just to tell the people of the Telford constituency about a little bit about yourself and what your plans are?
Yes. Yes, Kuldip Sahota. I'm the parliamentary candidate for Telford, representing the Labour Party. And what I personally, it's a little bit about myself. I have lived in Telford for 51 years, in Ketley all those years, and I have worked in GK and Sankey's, you know, to start when I was a young man there, and then I left and I went into business, and I went and been involved in various businesses for 30 odd years, and I still have a little business with my wife in Wellington. What else? My father came to this country in 1957, and then he left us while we were still, small, and then 10 years later we followed him because he couldn't make his millions in those years. He came in to make a millions, but he couldn't make it working in the West Midlands boundaries. So he brought his family over, and at the moment there are 4 generations of Sahota families in Ketley. My mother, myself, my son, and my granddaughter, 6-7 months old. The reason I'm standing is I stood down as the leader of the council after 5 years. I've been a councillor in Mallinsley and Dawley for about 15 and a half, nearly 16 years. Stepped down as a leader, and the reason I'm back again into the fray of politics is the hospital. And I always go around and talk to the people, whether it's in my business or knocking on the doors, and people are rather confused. They say, what's happening to the hospital? What about the hospital? And of course there is everybody's been talking about it. Even Jeremy Hunt came to Telford 2 years ago, and he said there will be 2 A&E in Shropshire, one in Shrewsbury and one in Telford. Well, as soon as he disappeared, we don't know what happened to it. So my number one issue is the hospital. I don't want it downgraded. There is a proposal to close it at night time, the A&E, and also to downgrade Women and Children Centre. Oh, by the way, that was the place where my granddaughter was born 7 months ago. My daughter-in-law was there for 3 days, 3 nights. Bit of a complication, but all is well that ends well. Why? Because it was consultants led, and there was all the facilities there. But what is on proposal is to sort of downgrade it by having just normal deliveries. Any complications, you have to go to Shrewsbury. Any overnight stay, any specific problem with a child, you have to go to Shrewsbury. That's what I mean by downgrading it. So that is my number one issue. I have also written a letter to Jeremy Hunt that I am running this campaign as a referendum on a hospital. And if the people choose me on the morning of the 9th, and I am the MP, and then I will remind the Secretary of State, whoever he or she is, that people have voted not to downgrade our hospital in Telford. We are a growing town. The hospital should be upgraded, not downgraded. And this is what the people are saying to me. I'm merely reflecting what I hear on the doorsteps, on the streets, or in my wife's business. This is why I'm standing now.
Okay. So I did a poll of, it was about 250 people in the Telford constituency, and it's no surprise that health was the top of their concerns. Next in the level, next down, was the economy and jobs.
Yeah.
So what would the policies be on jobs and employment for the
right?
In Telford?
Yes. When I was a leader of the Telford, as you know, one of the first, when I became a leader in 11, one of the first things I sanctioned was the South Water development. 200-300 jobs, over 200 jobs, retail and leisure facilities. And of course, that has gone quite well. Everybody likes it. And then one of the other things I'm quite proud about, the jobs, is the MOD Donington. I went to see the civil servants in in the Ministry of Defence in Bristol with myself, my friend Bill McClemens, who was a cabinet member, and 2 senior officers. And there was a proposal to move all that to Bicester in Oxfordshire. And when we moved there, they more or less said, listen guys, you know, I don't know why you guys are here, but there is a proposal that everything will be moved. And of course, that means we're losing the base which has been there since the Second World War, the jobs and everything. And then we said, listen, what can we do as a council to retain and bring some more jobs? And they thought about it. I said, listen, go away, come back in a month or 6 weeks' time and bring your proposal forward. What you as the council can do, as a local authority can do for the Ministry of Defence to keep that. We came back. A month later, we went back again. They looked at our proposal. We even did the drawings for them, because this is the fulfillment centre, of course, I'm talking about, that all the stuff that comes back from Iraq and Afghanistan, they wanted to store it somewhere. And they said, 2 big storage, fulfillment centre, they called it, I believe. And of course, and then the other MOD base will stay there as well. So to cut the story short, we went there, showed it, and they set up and they looked at it and they said, tell you what folks, we are looking at this seriously, come back. To cut the story short, fulfillment centre was opened, both of them a month ago, or was it 6 weeks ago, and I'm quite proud of the fact that when on my watch as a leader, we did not let MOD Donington close. Otherwise it would be. Now I'm told that centre is worth, the whole MOD is worth £65 million to the local economy. I am a businessman. I'm always on the side of the business. I'm always side of creating jobs and growth. When I was a leader, the motto of the council was business and business. I've forgotten the little actually what business winning council, business, but that was that. So I'm always being open and transparent with everyone. Even we had that respect and transparency, and I always have been like that. And so I am a businessman. I will always support business and jobs.
Okay, so Telford was very much a Leave in the vote for the EU membership. It was very much a Leave constituency.
Yeah.
How will that impact on your decision should you be elected?
Well, people have voted to leave on the 23rd of June last year. And yes, I did do an article based on what the company managers were telling me. When I was a leader, I used to sit down with them and I would say, what if we leave? What impact will that have on the jobs and growth in Telford? And these managers, you know, when I was having a cup of tea and a biscuit with them, you know, not discussing politics, but just having a little off-the-cuff remark. And they used to say, well, if we leave, nothing's going to happen. It will not affect anyone for 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. But eventually, when there is a second generation of investments, people sitting in Tokyo or in America or in Thailand or wherever these companies are from, and we are not in the EU, and they're going to say, well, are we going to expand our factory in UK, or are we going to expand it in Poland? And they're going to say, well, UK is not in it, let's do the one. So I did that article on it based on what the people told me, purely on the jobs and the growth. But people have voted to come out now, Andy, and I'm all in favor of coming out. And of course, you know, we don't know, the negotiation hasn't started. So like a Prime Minister, I was a Remainer. Theresa May was a Remainer, I was a Remainer, and I'm a convert. Why? Because people have spoken and I listen to people, and I will do my best, if people elect me as an MP, to get a best deal for the economy and for the town of Telford.
You're no stranger to people in Telford, having been the leader of the council. So what kind of reception are you getting in this potential change of role?
Well, wherever I go, Andy, I knock on a door and I always introduce, and the people say, "We know you, Mr. Sahota." You know, I mean, you know, you don't, for whatever reason. I was surprised actually, the number of people just turned around to me. "Of course, we know who you are, Mr. Sahota." I didn't know. I'm surprised that I didn't know I was so popular, to be quite honest, Andy. You know, for whatever reason it is. And so I always say I'm a local man. You know, I'm always stand up for the local economy, the local people, and standing for the hospital now. So that's, I'm surprised myself. I got to be really, really honest about it. And you know, last week I was in Madeley. I said, "My name is," he said, "We know who you are, and good luck." And that's it. So that's the kind of reception I'm getting up and down. You know, whether it's in Oakengates, Dorley, you know, Lawley, Mellensley, and you know, Madeley.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Councillor Sahota. Best of luck on June the 8th, and I shall see you at the count.
Thank you very much.